Over 3,000 women in Australia live with HIV. It's a disease often associated with a stigma, and we have the brave Diane Lloyd here with us talking about living with HIV. Diane, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Now tell us, what is life like with HIV?
Actually, it's an interesting question saying what's life like with HIV, because I can hardly remember life without HIV now. I've actually was diagnosed in 1986, so that means it's been 32 years that I've been HIV positive. So for me, you know, it's been pretty well all my adult life living with HIV, so I can hardly remember before HIV.
And do you take medication as well, Diane?
I do. Things have really changed over the last, like 5 to 10 years, where people are actually on antiretrovirals. It's a tablet I take once a day. It's quite an expensive tablet. It's worth about $3,000 to the government. Luckily, I don't have to pay that. But by taking that, it slows down the reproduction of the virus, and it means that basically I can live a normal life now, normal life expectancy.
Diane, can you talk to us about when you were actually told that day? Do you remember how you were told?
I think we all remember that day.
Sure.
Yeah, it was, my story actually goes back to that I was an injecting drug user, and I was on treatment for that, and they had taken blood but not necessarily given me any pre-test counselling about it. And back in those days, if you can imagine 32 years ago, it was basically a death sentence back then. We were told we had a year to live when we were diagnosed, and also we were told not to have children because of the risk of mother to baby at that time. So I was actually told first, and the partner that I had was told after. And when I went home that day, I said, "Oh, I've got something to tell you." And he said, "What?" And I said, "Oh, I've just been told that I've got HIV." And we lived in a townhouse, and for that whole weekend, if I went downstairs, he would go upstairs, and went upstairs, I would go downstairs. I had no idea who to talk to. I didn't want to ring anybody, so it was quite isolating on that weekend. And then on the Monday, went back to the doctors to get more information, and that's where we were told, that we had a year to live, because that's all they knew back then. So I promptly enrolled in a 2-year TAFE course. I had no idea why I did that.
So you could finish it.
I was going to go out of this world educated.
Yeah.
So, and unfortunately that the partner I had at that time died in 1992. So it shows the difference where, he died quite early in the piece and I'm still around. So you kind of, for people with HIV, it's not just living with the virus ourselves, but we go through a whole heap of other things like feeling guilt, because
Sure.
like, why did he die and I'm still here? I remember there was a female friend of mine who had a child, and she was quite sick and basically she was dying, and up in hospital, and I'm thinking, why is she going first? I don't have children. Why take her? Take me instead. So it's quite an interesting journey.
Now, there is a stigma associated with HIV. What's the reality of actually passing it on?
Well, as long as we're not having unprotected sex or sharing needles, the only body fluids that you can get it from is through blood to blood, semen, vaginal fluids, or mother to baby. Nowadays, there's a slogan that's being used, which is U equals U, which is if you're undetectable and you're taking your medication so that the virus is undetectable, you're actually untransmissible. So essentially, you can't pass the virus on. So that's huge leaps and bounds, from many years ago. I think it's great now that there's a lot of needle and syringe exchange programs around, so people can have access to clean equipment. And and with mother to baby, the risk is under 2%. So as long as the mother is taking her medication and other things all sort of, the stars all line up, it's actually under 2%.
What is it like in the dating world, Diane?
That's the two biggest issues, I think, is stigma and also dating.
Sure.
If anybody has quite anybody in mind, I'll give a little bio of what I like. That, you know, it's I've done interviews and radio and magazines and things like that, public speaking at schools, etc. But telling somebody you potentially want to have a relationship with is hard, because everybody, whether you got HIV or not, you know, doesn't like to be, you know, have rejection.
Sure.
So, you know, you're always scared, and there's no like right time. Do you say, hi, my name's Diane, I've got HIV and I love chocolate? Or do you wait that you've been dating for, you know, a month or something? Or, you know, and if you've had that first kiss, you know, are they going to panic? Obviously you can't get it through kissing.
Right.
But, you know, people, when it's something that they don't know about, obviously fear
It's
is a big
something
issue.
you think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So disclosing is a huge issue for people, and I think particularly in the heterosexual community where it's not talked about as often, and there hasn't been a national campaign aimed at the heterosexual community, well, just aimed in general, for many years, and people still unfortunately have the Grim Reaper in their mind, so we need something that's going to dismiss all that.
So Diane, what type of peer support is there for people that have been diagnosed with HIV?
There's the AIDS Council have a few programs for peer support. There's a online Facebook page called TIM for the Institute of Many, which is a closed group, so you have to be invited, so people have to know that you've got HIV to invite you, and we've got Timbos for women only. And I think that peer support is the most important thing, to be able to have somebody else to talk to or socialise with that's in the same boat. You don't necessarily have to talk about it, but just know that if you say something or slip up, it's not like, do they know or not know? So I think peer support is really important.
So if our viewers out there want to seek some information about living with HIV, where can they go?
In Perth, you can go to the Australian AIDS Council, NAPWA, the National Association of People with HIV and AIDS, and they have they support another group called Femme Fatales, which is a national network of women with HIV, which I'm on as well.
And we'll have all that information on our website. Diane, thank you so much for joining us. We've got all the latest trending topics because Celeste has been doing her research. Celeste, what have we got?
That's right. Okay, so a Gold Coast retiree can't believe his luck because he has just won the $60 million Powerball jackpot. And this is actually the second largest Division I prize ever won by a single entry in Australia's history. So Laura, guess what he wants to do?
Go on a single man flight.
No, he wants to take his family on holiday. So is that sweet or is that selfish? What do you think?
That's super sweet. And I think he should take Let's Talk Now on holiday a little bit as well.
It would be really sweet if he took us. I think that's kind of, I'm sorry, if my dad or grandpa just won $60 million, I would be like, I want a holiday, a house, I want a car, I want a puppy, I want a cotton candy machine, I want like...
a gold toilet seat.
Yeah, that heats up and talks to me like, yeah.
What I don't get with the lotto winners is if 60 families all won $1 million, they would be set, you know, almost for life.
Yeah.
And then one person probably couldn't spend that in a lifetime, but...
Yeah. So, Laura, if you won $60 million, would you give it away completely?
I would definitely invest in Let's Talk Now for a start.
That
I would
done.
get this the next 10 years full of seasons.
Absolutely.
And then, yeah, I'd like to think I'd give some away, but you never know when that greedy money man strikes, you might be like,
well, at least
catches.
At least you're honest, Laura, which I think you're one of the most generous people I've ever met. So
that's a good
I know
one.
for a fact you would. Okay, next topic. So clearly, you know me and the Royals. I know you guys are so annoyed with me and the Royals, but the Duchess of Cambridge has wowed the audience at a charity event in London in a stunning ball gown she first wore 6 years ago. What do you think? Recycling the wardrobe?
If you can fit into that dress 3 kids later,
Amen to that.
you wear that dress 10 times. In fact,
You're
as a
absolutely right.
statement to the media, I just keep wearing it every event you go to. Put a little tassel on here, fascinated there, jacket it up.
Accessorize with the belt. She's known for that.
An
You know what?
accent belt.
Accent belt. You're absolutely right. I agree, Laura. I think if you've had 3 babies and you've popped those out and you're looking, you can wear a dress after 6.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. And I have more royal news.
Oh, is it a royal love child?
Bingo! Yes. Okay. So Prince Harry, love child. What do you think?
Well, allegedly. So, but yeah, I think it is his.
Okay. So
Looking at their little pictures, it's a cute baby.
like,
girl.
it is. He's just who doesn't love a good ginger? Who loves a little ginger?
Megs is going to be a step mummy and a real mummy same time. 2 boys, hopefully.
Every woman's dream. You're a duchess now, and a mom and a stepmom. Surprise! Yeah. No, I mean, do you think she knew?
Oh, no, but skeletons in the closet with Harry, hand in hand. Do you know what I mean?
No surprise there.
Yeah,
No surprise there. Yep.
Well, I think that's all we have time for.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and we will see you next week.
Bye.